coin.
Hey there, YouTube coin community. This is Dustin with CoinOp. Today, we are going to be taking a look at a few of the various state quarter varieties that you can find while searching your pocket change. So I believe I have 8 of them selected for you for this video. Now, I do want to keep everybody in mind that when we hit 30,000 subscribers, which is relatively soon, we are over 29,500 currently. But when we hit 30,000, we are doing a giveaway. We do have various double dies and products that we will be giving away. So make sure you stay tuned. We are doing a video a day every day this week. So make sure you stay tuned all week long. Lots of content coming your way. And we are going to dive right on in with some of these state quarter varieties. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, first of all, we are taking a look at a 1999 Delaware quarter. This is a Philadelphia Mint Delaware quarter. This is known as a spitting horse variety. Now, all that this is a die crack that you can see running down through the mouth of the horse, which gives it the appearance of spitting. Typically, die cracks don't really bring a whole lot of extra money, but in some cases they can, and this is one of those cases. Now, if you do happen to find one of these varieties, they typically trade for between $5 upwards of $20 for uncirculated examples, but they are worth more than face value. So if you do see one of these, pull it aside. I know in the CoinOp Facebook group, quite a few people have found some of these, and I know there's images in the group currently of them. So you can find these. Okay, we are moving on to the 2004 Philadelphia Mint Wisconsin quarters. Now, there are 2 different things to look for, both of them in the exact same spot. There are 2 varieties. One is called a low leaf, and the other is called a high leaf. Both of these have an extra leaf right there on the corn. Take a look at the image. Now, these leaves are not supposed to be there. This coin has had a little bit of controversy for a while. This was believed to be an intentional mint error. They believed that a mint employee had created this. But after further examination, people such as Ken Potter and a few other experts in the field just feel as if these are die gouges that happen to give it this effect. So it's just a die gouge. But anyhow, if you happen to find any of these examples, they typically trade between $50 upwards of $300, so these can be quite valuable. Do keep your eyes open for them. I do know a few of the people in the CoinOp Facebook group have found some of these. Okay, we are now moving on to a 2005 Philadelphia Mint Minnesota Double Die Reverse. Now, what this variety is extra pine trees in the design. So as you're looking through these, you will notice that some of them might have a floating pine tree, or doubling on some of the pine trees, or just extra pine trees altogether. There are a lot of different double die reverses for this. Now, when you are looking for this variety, just so you know, there are 169 double die reverse varieties that are listed for the Minnesota State Quarter. So there are a lot of different varieties that exhibit very similar doubling. Now, I showed you this one because to me it's the most obvious out of them all. But I do suggest you go over to websites such as doubledie.com or varietyvista.com and take a look at all the various different double die reverse varieties for the 2005 Minnesota series. And also, if you do happen to find one of these, they tend to trade anywhere between $2 upwards of $100 for really nice high-grade uncirculated examples. Okay, now we are taking a look at a 2005 Kansas State Quarter. This variety is known as the Humpback Bison. All that this is a die break. It's a die break right on the top of the hump on the bison. So it gives it the appearance of having a hunchback. If you happen to find one of these examples, they seem to trade anywhere between $5 up to $50 for nicer high-grade uncirculated examples. So there is some money in these. Now we are taking a look at a 2007 Philadelphia Mint Wyoming State Quarter. Now this is a double die reverse. The one that you are looking at is listed as DDR-002. There are a bunch of double die reverse varieties for this, all of them featuring something very similar, and what it is extra pine trees that are not supposed to be there. So if you happen to be looking through one of these and you see one of these little floating pine trees, you know you have a double die reverse. Now examples of these seem to trade anywhere from $2 up to $30, and as I stated, there are a bunch of different double die reverse varieties. So once again, I suggest taking a look at doubledie.com or varietyvista.com and looking at all the different double die reverse varieties for the 2007. Now we are moving on to a 2008 Philadelphia Mint Arizona State Quarter. Now this one, once again, this is little die breaks. What this is it appears to have extra cactus leaves. There's two spots that you want to look for them at, and there's actually two different varieties of this as well. One of them is more minor than the other. What you're looking for is where the designer's initials are directly underneath of the big cactus. On some of them, there will be a die break, and it will be covering what looks like an extra cactus leaf will be covering those initials. And then again, on the date, you'll see an extra cactus leaf coming down covering part of the date. Now, if you do happen to find one of these, they typically trade between $5 up to $80 for nice higher grade uncirculated examples. So I do suggest you keep your eye out for these. The last one that we're going to be looking at is a 2009 Denver Mint. This is a 2009 D. This is a DC quarter. This is the Duke Ellington DC quarter. Now, this is not actually one of the state quarters, but one of the DC and territorial quarters. But I included it in this list just because it's really cool and you guys need to see it. And there really isn't a whole lot of anything else that's too impressive in the DC and territorial quarter list. There are some very minor double dies, but nothing quite like this. Now, what you are looking at is a double die reverse. This is listed as WDDR-001. This is one of the most dramatic double dies in the past so many years. With the way that the Mint changed how they do their hubbing process, it pretty much made it where extreme double dies are next to impossible. Well, this one still ended up happening. This is a very extreme double die. You can see it with the naked eye. This is a very, very desirable coin. If you happen to find one of these, you will have a buyer for it quicker than you can imagine. Now, there are various double die reverses for the Philadelphia Mint, but nothing that is quite as dramatic as the Denver Mint double die reverse that you are looking at. Now, I am having problems finding values on this because there are only a few examples of it that are out there, and they very rarely come up for sale. I do know a few years ago at one of the fun shows, there was an AU example that had an asking price of $1,500, and then I do know that an uncirculated example sold for $2,500. So I'm going to put in a roundabout estimate on this, anywhere between a few $100s up to a few $1,000s for uncirculated examples. Well, there you go. There you have it. We hope we gave you something to look for, something to search for. So while you're checking your change in your pocket or going through your change jars or whatever it is that you do to search, pull out some of those state quarters, look for some of these varieties. Now, as I did mention earlier in the video, we will be doing a giveaway as soon as we hit 30,000 subscribers. So do stay tuned for that. We are doing a video a day every day this week, so make sure you are following the channel closely. If you have not been to our website, it is varietyerrors.com. Once again, it is varietyerrors.com. You can always find myself or Robert Lawson in the CoinOp Facebook group on Facebook. I will post a link down in the comments. If you would like to join in the fun, share some images, learn about various varieties and errors, and talk coins, feel free. Click on the link, hit the membership button, and we will approve you right away and get you on in there. If you would like to help our channel, you can do so by hitting the thumbs up button. The more that you hit the thumbs up button, the more and more it encourages YouTube to share our content with more and more people. You can also help us by subscribing and sharing our content. The more you share our content, the more and more it encourages YouTube to share it as well. And once again, thank you for your view. Have fun searching.